Richard. Oh, wow.
It's gonna be terrible.
Hello and welcome to Best of the Bottom, where bottom class people drinking bottom shelf booze. I am the Reverend JP, and this is
Diane.
And tonight we're gonna be drinking some Mickeys. We're gonna be talking about what everybody's talking about on the internet. We got some booze in the news. We have our regular Florida man shenanigans, but most importantly,
we've never lost our sense of what's truly important. The great taste of Charleston Chew.
And here on Best of the Bottom, what we like to do is we drink some cheap booze. We give a review because we drink cheap booze, so you can too. But before we officially get this train off the tracks, we have a little something we call the Bag of Doom. In this bag, I have oh shit. I have mostly shots of 99 because I haven't gone to El Paso to replenish the Bag of Doom. But what we do is we reach into this bag, we take our shot out of here, we commence with our fate, and then reach across the interweb into this bag. For the Doom is here for you.
Okay.
And I shall reach into the bag. And hopefully the deities above bless me with black cherry.
Butterscotch.
But cherry is one of the least terrible of the flavors, I think.
I don't like butterscotch. Butterscotch is bad.
It's all right. I mean, there's worse flavors.
My hair is
Ooh.
not participating with me today.
But Diane, let's take these shots and let's give a cheers to the Oscars doing something interesting for once. Cheers. I don't know if that's the right message to send, but you know what? It's been sent. I think I sent it a little too hard, man. Whew. Oh, that was not terrible. It was not terrible. It was not the worst thing in the world. Oh. But Dan, I'm ready to get into our weekly adventures of Florida Man. So, what we like to do here is we find a Florida Man headline. I read the headline, but I just make up the story. Why? Because sometimes it's more interesting that way. Sometimes it's not. But we will see how this week goes. But on this week's adventures of Florida Man, good news, you are here. But on this week's adventures of Florida Man accused of cutting power to Knoxville liquor store that refused him service. As all Florida men. Diane, you have a vibrate function.
Yeah, but you know.
God, Jesus, mother. Sometimes, Diane. Anyway.
Give me a second. I'm figuring it out.
On this week's Adventures of Florida Man, a Florida man accused of cutting power to a Knoxville liquor store that refused him service. Because as you know, all Florida men are master craftsmen and the amphetamine arts. And you see, this man was desperate. He needed to balance himself out, for he had gotten too hard into the Argyle meth. And he was tweaking harder than something that tweaks hard. I don't have a good analogy because he's not rolling deeper than Adele, and I don't know of any other songs that uses a reference of tweaking. He was tweaking harder than any Florida man could tweak. And he was excited. He was jittering. He was jattering. He was jiving. He was doing all those things. He was just like, rah, rah. I am the great Cornholio. You know, he was doing all that stuff. And he was excited. But he needed something to mellow him out. And he decided he wanted to kick the opium habit. So he wanted to go for the most natural thing he could find. Locos before. He looked for the Locos 4. He needed 8 Locos. He needed 16 Locos. But alas, as he walked into that liquor store with that little bit of a stagger, walking in like Vincent D'Onofrio from Men in Black, he was pulling his face back. He was twitching. He was moving. And they were like, nah, bro, we can't sell to you. You are too far faded. And he's like, oh, for the love of Pete. I don't know who Pete is, but for the love of him, I need to balance out. Things are going awry. I'm excitable. And I just need a little nap. And they said, no, good sir. Not here in the city of Knoxville, or the county, or the... Was Knoxville, Tennessee? The Mayor Kane would not approve of your situation. So he's like, oh, I shall exact vengeance upon thee. And he gallivanted off to the power pole. And he grabbed himself the hedge clippers from over yonder. And he went to split it in twine. But he did not quite realize how electricity worked at that moment due to his excitement. And there was a little bit of a crispy Florida man. He survived, only to fly off into the hands of the awaiting police below. And there he went off to the slammer. True. Poor Mayor Kane. Dan, thoughts? Like thoughts from your head, not like THOTS.
Thoughts? Yes, please. Yeah. Kane was a great wrestler.
I know about Florida, man. Let's get back to Mayor Kane. All right. Dan, do you want to get into our Mickeys? Do you want to give it a little review? As I do believe we drank Mickey's once before on the podcast in the early days, but I don't remember my thoughts on it.
Okay. Well, I can guarantee you're going to drink it and go, it's a beer.
So, when I was at the store today, I was sitting there going, man, I'm not sure what to drink, but I'm getting tired of seltzers. I'm getting tired of all these sweet drinks. I'm tired of all the margaritas. And I was like, oh, let's do either a 4-pack of Mickey's or Ice House. And I decided to go with Mickey's because I was sitting there thinking, Well, I think Mickey's has a higher alcohol content. Not really. I think Ice House is 5% and Mickey's is 5.4%. I mean, I guess that's higher, but I always thought Mickey's was more of like a higher gravity thing. I thought it was at least 6 or 7. I guess
Well, you were wrong, sir.
it's supposed to be a fine malt liquor.
What even
I mean,
what
those
what
are
makes
reasonable.
forgive me, what makes a malt liquor a malt liquor?
I always assumed malt liquors were stronger than beers. That was my impression of it. That's what I always thought. But you know, I mean, I don't know. I'm not as excited. I almost did Mike's Hard Lemonade, but once again, it's sweet. I'm just so many cheap liquors are all like super sweet or the terrible beer. So
Yeah, I've honestly been tired of the seltzers for a while now.
I know, but that's
they range
kinda,
they range in flavor and what a seltzer actually is, I think, but at the same time, just tired of like grossly flavored whatever.
that's true. I mean,
Sweet and gross. That's what seltzers are. I mean, Truly is delicious. Always stick with Truly because they taste like nothing, and that's what you want.
I don't like Trulies. Honestly, I think my favorite is either the Corona or the Bud Light seltzers so far. Unless we're here to
Some of the flavors I have like just turned me completely back to like, let's not flavor them, you know? Let's just go back to the days where they tasted like nothing. Because it gets bad, and some of them just taste like. Don't get me wrong, 99's seltzers, number one.
definitely.
Taste like syrup, just gross, syrupy, like cheap tasting. Like if you over syruped your snow cone, kind of, and it's just gross.
That I can see that. Well, even like
They're
Bud
great,
Light
they'll get the
Next.
job done, but hangover for sure.
What's like those Bud Light Necks too? They I don't even know how it's qualified as beer. That had a very seltzery vibe to it. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
Bud Light seltzers are probably my favorites,
Yeah.
or Truly, just because it tastes like nothing.
Oh, let's get into the Mickeys.
I get why doing this show. I
Yeah.
get why people drink things and then stick with that thing. You know, I guess
Yes.
that's all.
There's very much. It's very much
There's a lot of gross things out there.
sometimes when it comes to drinking booze, sometimes it's just best stay in your lane because you get all fancy or try doing something new. It just leads to disappointment. And
Mickey's 10 out of 10 already.
10 out of 10. I don't know if I'm going to say 10 out of 10. It's
End show 16 minutes in.
it's. I mean, my favorite beer is still the Foster's Ale. I don't know why, but maybe because it comes in that oil can and it's just enjoyable. But the Mickey's kind of has that oil can, the Foster's Ale vibe. Well, with a little bit of a
Delicacy.
there's more of a staleness to it.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yes.
You know what? Now that I think about it, yeah, probably. It has like no flavor. It has flavor. It has just enough flavor for this to be chuggable without a problem.
I feel like it. Yeah, this is definitely chuggable.
It would be enjoyable, chuggable. Like, not just like taste like piss or water. Not like unless you're into piss. I don't know. I don't know why I added piss into the enjoyable section, but I'm not judging.
We're not here to kink shame. Hashtag woke.
Hashtag piss in each other's mouths.
That's
Not the
That's-
hashtag. Okay.
that's too much. That's too much.
Too much support.
Too much. Reel it back. We're just not judging. We're not
Okay.
encouraging. We're just not
Oh,
judging.
okay, okay. Not encouraging. Okay.
We're just not judging. No, Mickey's isn't. The first drink is okay. I have to say, you do get this weird stale vibe at the end. There's a staleness. There's definitely a staleness. And
I think I have fond memories of Mickey's though. I just like Mickey's. I don't know what to tell you.
You just get nostalgic.
Yes,
time
I'm
you
just
drink
like
it?
10 out of 10. Great times. I remember. Yeah. Mickey's had the not 40s, but the smaller 40s.
Not
And
40s, but smaller 40s, like 32
Yeah.
ounces.
The 32s. I was like, what's the underneath 40? But yeah, those I used to get when I was a youngin.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's a nice change of pace. To be honest,
There was
I mean,
a time.
we did do the light beer thing and discover the worst light beer in America, and that was fair enough. I think next week we're gonna do the worst regular beer. I think we're gonna do the worst regular beer. We're gonna go through Coors, Bud Light. We're gonna do it all over again. Arrogant Bastard next week. That ain't cheap though.
I think I've tried that. Is that the one with the devil dude on it? Or
Yes,
that's a nice picture.
it's a great bottle. I still want to try the one with the drunken elephants, pink elephants, just because I like the marking on it. I like the pink elephants. It's so classic.
Beautiful. Some alcohol designs are pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. How many times have I bought something just because of the packaging, not because of the beverage?
Sailor Jerry was the first thing I bought just because it looks cool.
Yeah, I bought it
that once because it was like more money than I care to spend on rum. But
Sailor Jerry also has a little increase in the ABV. Sailor Jerry is a stronger alcohol, and I used to drink a lot of Sailor Jerry at one time. I remember at the Tattoo Showdown, we put away 2 bottles of Sailor Jerry. I was really drunk.
I believe it.
And you know what? I had a good time. I got to watch Less Than Jake for the 12th time. It was enjoyable.
That's Real Big Fish for me. They're the band I've seen a bajillion times.
Oh,
besides Corn and Real Big Fish.
Yeah, we have seen Corn a lot.
Yes.
So there is a liquor that I really want to try, but I just can't bring myself to buy it yet. But it's brandy and it's in a sword. The bottle is in a sword. It's in the shape of a sword.
This man has like a Maverick comic has a, I don't know what type of gun it is. I want to say it's like
I just put it up here. It's a Tommy gun.
Again.
It's a
It's the
Thompson.
most beautiful thing in the world. And I'm like, where do you even find that shit? Beautiful.
The internet.
I need to start looking for wonderfully shaped boozes because
well, it's like I keep thinking about Iron
that's
Maiden.
art, man.
Iron Maiden has some beer,
Mhm.
and the packaging is in a coffin or whatever. I think the sword bottle is 65 or $70. I have to go back on the interweb and find it.
Oi! My cats are fighting.
I heard.
Hattie! Excuse me.
Who's throwing down?
Munin and Hathor.
I got money on Munin.
Nah, you don't know Hathor like that. She turns into Sekhmet like that. She's
Okay.
crazy. I swear to God, her and Freya both are crazy. Like, just crazy mentality.
They're cats. Cats are fucking nuts.
I don't know what their problem
Lord.
is, but she has a vendetta against Munin, and I don't know what he did, but all of a sudden she just beats him up out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, do you remember Officer Meow Meow Fuzzy Face and Sadie?
Yeah.
Which I feel really messed up about it because I feel like there's a whole weird dynamic because Sadie's a black cat and Officer Meow Meow Fuzzy Face is an officer. And it has a weird dichotomy that happens, you know, it just
Munin is also a black cat. He don't even want to fight or nothing. He's just like, hey. Why, Hattie? He's just chilling.
It's Officer Meow Meow Fuzzy Face from BoJack Horseman.
Don't act like you don't know.
Like, we've had a discussion
He
about my
doesn't
cat
know.
names before. Officer Meow Meow Fuzzy Face, I have Princess Carolyn and Lord Archibald Pumpernickel III. You know what? You lost your drinking showdown on Friday, so you know what? I understand. You want to hide your shame. But Diane,
I love BoJack the Horseman so much.
it's a great show.
I finished the end because I'm not ready for it to be over, and then in my mind I can still be in denial.
I still haven't watched the final couple episodes either. I've watched.
I just don't want to be sad because I feel like I'm going to be really sad. And I just don't want to be really sad, so I keep putting it off.
I know I've watched some of the final season, but I haven't finished it.
I feel like it came out of nowhere. Just one day they were like, "This is it. This is the end," and I was like, "What? How could you?"
You puked all over the place, man. And you don't know where
He
my
didn't
head
puke
was
all
held.
over the place.
I woke
He
up in
just-
the morning. I cleaned up some of the mess. I mopped the floor. I chilled out. I cleaned up
But
some
we
of the
know-
mess last night.
We know for a fact multiple people puked that night.
I did. There was no vomitus for me. Yeah, because I was like, well, who puked in my sink?
No. There was quite a at the end of the night, the parents survived.
That is true. We did.
Without puking. But
I mean, I didn't even feel that terrible in the morning. I didn't feel great, but I didn't feel terrible.
I felt like shit. I was dead the whole day.
I
I'd
woke
make
up.
myself soup. It was a
Oh, I woke up. I cleaned the sink. I cleaned up some more. There was still some sticky stuff on the floor from the collapse. But I found some more margarita mix on the floor. There's still margarita in a jug in the fridge. I was almost half tempted to just save it for today and be like, "Oh, we're drinking this," and I was like, "Oh, I'm tired of that. That's too sweet. It's too sweet."
I had such a hangover because we drank so much sweet stuff.
Yeah, that's what I felt the worst about. I did have a pretty wicked headache at first, and I think it was because it was so much sugar. I'm not used to drinking that much sugary shit. Are you
Would
cats
do
throwing down
again.
again?
No,
Okay.
I just dropped some shit.
Okay. But you know what time it is?
Hmm.
It's booze. You're muted. It's booze in the news. So, okay. This week's booze in the news. First off, I want to say the website I found it from is Convenience Store News. There is a whole website dedicated to convenience store news. And I want to know what you got to do to be a writer for this website because I frequent convenience stores all the time. What can I do to get part of this? It just, I don't know. I don't know if it. You don't seem to be excited as I am, but the convenience store news is just a lovely idea of a website and
What's a convenience store? Is that
like a Pickwick
like a
or Circle K.
okay? I'm like, is it like okay?
It's a gas station.
Okay, I'm thinking Clark's. Clark's is what was popping into my head, but I was just like, I don't know where you're.
That's also a convenience store. They didn't have gas there because it's like they have beverages and snacks and stuff. But yes, so this comes from Convenience Store News, and they're talking about the headline is new innovations pour into alcoholic beverage space, which is kind of a poor headline, but they're talking about the category beyond beer or ready to drink. It's basically your hard seltzers, your cocktails that are pre-mixed. So you like your Mark's Hard Lemonade and all that stuff. That's what your beyond beer category is. At first I thought beyond beer was some kind of vegan stuff, like, Beyond Meat, but no. Yes. That's exactly convenience store. But so this article is talking about because there's been such massive growth of seltzers and pre-made cocktails and all that stuff. A lot of convenience stores don't have room to stock it, and they buy stuff and they don't have enough. And one of the things it's saying is during 2020, the largest growth in the world of liquor has been like seltzers. Obviously, how many seltzers have we reviewed just this year? Holy shit! It seems like every other episode is a fucking seltzer.
I know.
But the seltzer market has grown 26.4% in 2020. Like there's been some growth in other alcohol related businesses, but the non-beer alternatives have grown the most. And so one of the issues they're having is basically a lot of convenience stores get all these products, they don't sell. It's a bunch of nonsense that honestly I don't care about. You don't care about some business aspects of it. But one of the things that they've talked about is organizing your convenience store shelves, which kind of makes me think about how you see stuff. They recommend all your convenience stores have the strongest alcohol towards the top shelf, the weaker ones towards the bottom, and then have kind of a brand kind of come across. So that way you have your Bud Light and your Bud Light seltzers. You have kind of everything kind of together in a nice, neat little way, kind of help sort and make it more manageable. And also, so if you want a convenience store, man, this kind of article breaks it down. And like I said, it's from Convenience Store News. It was published on the 15th of March. But it was saying to have your highest alcohol ABVs kind of at the top, and then works your way down, and then have all your brands together, and stick with all your your major brands, and also do 3 to 6 months of share, see what's selling the most. because like I said, there are so many goddamn seltzers. Like every time I go to the store, there's a new seltzer. That's how I found 99. That's how I found the Bud Light sours. So I found all this stuff. Well, you can't have ramen. There's a shortage. Same with Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut is out of stock.
Is it really?
Yeah, Kurt just got back from California. They went to Disneyland, and they went to order Pizza Hut, and they didn't have any pizza there. He went to order pizza today, didn't have any pizza there. He had me go down to Peter Piper and pick up some pizza. I'm a shortage. You're a shortage. You're all shortages. You can't handle the truth. Oh, hey. Look who we have in the chat. Tip of the morning tweet. I don't have a hat. What's up?
Top of the morning too.
We're drinking Mickey's. It's lovely. But yes,
it is actually lovely. I'm enjoying it. Maybe it's because I've had too much like sugary drinks on here that I'm just happy to not have sugary drinks. But I'm just like, my God.
Honestly, I'm almost thinking the next few weeks we're just gonna review some like standard beers, just regular old beer. I know who you are. I just didn't want to use your actual name. But, you know, Abel, hello. Top of the morning.
Hello, Abel.
Don't judge me. I know who you are, you son of a bitch. No. But I was trying to do a tip of the hat or something, but I don't have a hat. I don't even have any of my props nearby. I organized a bunch of stuff and where the fuck? Shit, where's my hat? Huh. I lost my fedora.
Somebody took that fedora away from you.
I could have put it on right now and just been like...
Somebody was like, no.
No fedora for you. You dirty bastard. Ben, do you have any thoughts about the overabundance of seltzers that's causing headaches for convenience stores?
Yeah, that probably does suck, but what happens then? They just leave that shit there for years, or?
Well, they're talking about having like not enough sales over a year, and then it's lost revenue. And it just
so what do they do with it though?
They can only keep it on the shelf for so long until.
So what do they do
it
with
expires?
it?
They throw it away.
And where can we find it? They probably have to stab them, don't they, or do something like?
They probably have to do something with it. Actually, you know what probably happens? They give it to some of the employees.
Yeah, I was like, maybe because I've been like well, I guess I know Circle K's have had like a decent amount of turnaround as far as employees go. And like, it seems to be like a rather, I don't know, like with gas stations and stuff.
Yeah.
That there's quite a turnaround. And I'm just like, what? The way it seems, I don't want to work there. Because it's just like everybody's quitting all the time. People, they like, every time you go in there, it's somebody new. They always have help wanted things. And I'm just like, yeah, you must have to deal with a lot of shit.
Actually, as a man that frequents a lot of convenience stores, there are several people there that I've seen for quite some time. We're not on like first name basis or anything, but we recognize each other on a regular basis.
Okay, well, let me just say the one at my house has a crazy turnaround.
Like when I get to work, we kind of do our truck check, we get things together, we go to the gas station, we caffeinate up, we get a burrito, and then we're off for the adventure of the day. That's kind of how it goes.
Yeah, I just think, I mean, some of the gas stations I would definitely hate to work at around here. because some of them are sketchier than others. But
Well, that's very kind. I'm sure he honestly wanted you to have a good day at work too. It's at the 7-Eleven. It open 7 hours a day, 11 days a week.
I do feel like the people at 7-Eleven are slowly starting to get to know me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I go in there and grab the same thing every single time.
Yeah. Well, see,
there's no other reason for me to go there.
There's 4 Circle Quicks that I go to on a regular basis. And they pretty much all have gotten to the point where they recognize me. Some have actually recognized my face well enough to where I can go in not in uniform and they know who I am. Shit, there's one guy at one of the Santa Fe grills there. I don't know who the hell this guy is, but he knows a lot about me. He used to. I haven't seen him in a while. But he would always come in. He would ask me about, like, how things are going. He asked me about how the whole, when I was doing the fighting thing, then he asked me about how comedy was going, how film. And I'm like, oh, how the fuck does this guy know so much about me? Am I acquaintances with him? I don't know how I know this guy. And it drove me mad for the longest time. He always even knows so much about me.
You probably run your mouth, hey? Isn't that what that means?
No, usually I don't like.
You're your mother. That's what that means.
No, I really look when I'm in uniform. I do the least amount of interaction with the public as possible.
Okay, good point.
Like, I try to keep to myself. I try to avoid eye contact. Because, look, man, people come up to you and start asking you for ice packs and syringes. You know, just what happens.
What do they ask for the syringes for? Do they try to spice it up or?
Well.
And do you give them to people?
No. This is the whole story. This guy walked up to me. And he was like, hey, so I got this like little sore on my foot. I just, and I'm like, oh, what do you want? What's going on? I am not checking. And I'm like, oh, so what's going on? What do you need? How can I help you? And he's like, oh, so I got this sore. Can you give me like an ice pack or a syringe? I'm like, look, man, I'll give you an ice pack, but I can't give you a syringe. And he's like, oh, do you know where I can get a syringe? And I'm like, I mean, you can go to Walmart and ask them. You can get one, but you have to have show an ID and all that stuff. They sell them for diabetes and stuff. Or go down to the Tractor Supply. Go buy yourself some Parvo stuff. They come with a syringe. I mean, that's all I can tell you, bro. I can't just be giving you syringes from an ambulance. It just raises a lot of questions and issues. And he said, oh, okay, thank you, bro. And he was off on his happy way. It was odd. Oh, Kurt's making an appearance.
Kurt, he can't hear me, so.
Is that even who I really am?
I don't know, is it?
I'm going to keep that.
What? Just coming in here, just throwing stuff at me?
What you guys drinking?
Mickey's.
Gross.
You come in here to take a shot of a 99?
No, my fucking stomach will hurt.
Yeah.
I thought about it.
Oh, shit. I was gonna give you a set of headphones so you could hear what's going on, but I don't have my adapter plugged in.
Oh, okay. Cool.
How many people are watching 6?
Huh?
How many people are watching 6?
Yes. Yes. The numbers match. Now, Diane, since booze in the news is, you have no thoughts on convenience stores.
Well, isn't there somebody who orders that shit? So, like,
Yeah.
to me, that feels like your manager messed up and ordered too much product.
Well, it's usually trying to figure out product situation.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, shit. Ah, shit.
But I do feel like seltzers were a big thing. But maybe these seltzers are still a big thing. But I don't.
Oh, they're still a big thing. Stand by for a second. I'm trying to recalibrate here. Okay. I'm giving Kurt some headphones. So he can actually have an idea of what the hell is going on.
Oh, I guess this is where I'm supposed to kind of like take over and be a good co-host.
I'm still able to hear right now.
Does this thing work?
Shit, it doesn't work. I haven't switched.
Let me get my knee.
So you have to use my microphone because I don't have this one set up. I had it.
Can I hear you in this?
I don't know. Can you hear me in that?
Sounds weird.
Can you hear Diane?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, good to see you.
That's how that works.
So what's going on?
We're going to. No, nobody can hear you. You're just an illusion. You're all a simulation.
I hope not.
So, no, I know what. I know what I need to do. I know what I need to do here. Hang on.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
I saw this last night.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it.
It is time. But look. Did you see? Look, did you see him laughing?
Nice one. Okay.
Yes.
I'm out here. Uh-oh, Richard.
And then, down.
Wow.
But
He's. I don't know.
Oh, Mystery's calling me.
look at that. Look.
Yeah.
You can see.
Yeah, but what if he was like? What if that was the he before the face that goes, "I'm about to kill you."
Well, look, man. No, look at his face. Look at his face.
Jada, I love you.
Yeah, but did you? He was emotional.
He's laughing, but look at her face.
Yeah, well, Jada was definitely not about it.
Yeah.
That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here.
And then,
Richard.
here comes. But the other thing that kind of gets me though is look at Chris Rock's face. Look at his face. Look at this. Look at his position. He's got his hands behind his back and sticking his face out, just like in professional wrestling when they're doing the whole slap
Yeah.
you, slap like it. Like I'm not.
Well,
100%
Will Smith, no offense, you tell a pretty basic joke and Will Smith gets on the stage, I don't think you think Will Smith is going to slap you.
That is true. Like I don't know.
I mean, yeah, he's just totally got on stage. Like, look at him. He doesn't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think he's just.
but yeah,
like,
I would say it at first. I was torn between if it's a work or a shoot.
why the hell would you let somebody? Like, my thing is just like, why was he able to walk on stage in the first place? It's not like there aren't like rehearsals for this kind of shit or whatever. Like he should have never been able to get up to him.
Well, he's a celebrity. They sit in a whole like.
I know, but that should not have like it's the same with fucking Kanye West, Taylor Swift. Why was he able to just walk up on the stage? Y'all nuts.
Because they're
Somebody-
celebrities, they're fucking rich. They don't.
That
There's a
still
different
doesn't make
set of
sense.
rules for
Justin.
when you're famous and have money.
Security fence.
Yes.
Pac walked up to Biggie while he was on the stage, there'd be an issue, wouldn't there? Like they're celebrities. Like that would have been I just feel like
Did you not
they
see
should
the
know
Source
better than
Awards?
to let people just walk around like that.
I will say, like,
Because Will Smith, you could tell he was gonna he looks like he's gonna cry after he slaps that man.
yeah.
And then he gets up and he bawls at his speech, and it's just like
Oh yeah.
you could tell
for
he's
his,
like he's probably a little fucked up.
yeah. Now, my only thought is, well, actually, I have lots of thoughts about it because I woke up this morning and it's on my TikTok feed, it's on the Twitter feed, it's on the Facebook feed, it's on every goddamn feed, it's on everything. Everything is about this whole thing.
Pretty funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
I mean, when does this ever happen? You know, Fresh Prince get up there and smack the shit out of somebody over a tiny joke.
But then it sparks this whole debate on is, slapping a comedian over a joke, is comedian punching down and all this stuff. Because I guess the big thing is Jada did have this whole thing about having alopecia and that's why she shaved her head, is she's got a bald streak, which I get. I could definitely see why that hurt her feeling. And maybe Chris Rock didn't know about the alopecia thing.
He
I don't know.
also said, "I love you, Jada,"
Yes.
which does say that he maybe possibly understood that this could be possibly a little.
That's true. That's
I
true
mean, in the
too.
way
Right.
I mean, come on, that was good. He knew he fucked up.
I just think at the same time
It's
it
funny,
was just a joke, and it just
Very true. Very
it
true.
makes him look stupid more than it probably actually
Oh,
affected
yeah.
Chris Rock.
Oh yeah. And I think it's hilarious how everybody was cheering when he got on stage, like yeah. And
Yeah.
then, oh.
But there's a whole bunch of other stuff. I even seen some of my some friends on it going like Will Smith was laughing, and then Jada looked over and she's like, "Nah, man, that hurt my feelings." And then she's like, "Oh, you need to do something." So Will's like, "Fuck." So he gets up there and slaps the shit out of him.
I think Will's going through some shit, man.
Oh, he
I
probably
really do too.
Look at him.
he might be, because there was a whole other stuff about Jada sleeping with Jaden's
The entanglement.
that whole thing that was going
I
on.
mean, he's going through some shit, man.
Yeah,
I mean, hey,
definitely going through some shit.
have you seen a bunch of still frames of all the people, a bunch of people's faces reacting to it? The Rock's like, he raised his eyebrow and he was
It's like, oh,
I'll have to find that for you.
dude, I feel like The Rock is probably going, is this a work or a shoot? Because he comes from that world, Is this, is
Some guy, I don't remember who it was. Somebody was laughing their ass off. Like somebody was legit laughing.
yeah. Well, because
Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed though.
okay,
Adios,
night.
stream.
Love you.
love you.
All right, brother.
But yeah, lost my train of thought. But yeah, there's a whole thing because I know Denzel Washington in an interview was talking about this has been a long time coming and something else. So, like, is there some shit going on? Like, do Chris and Will got some beef about some other stuff too?
Well, like, cause in his acceptance speech, he's also like mentions that people have like been really pushing him lately.
That's true too.
And I think like when's a better time to show the world you're not a bitch than live in front of a bunch of people? Because there has been like he's been the butt of so many jokes since the entanglement thing. And a lot of men have been like, how you're gonna let your because this is what I think about Will Smith now is he kind of had this. I don't know. He had a different when he was like the Fresh Prince. It was different,
Yeah.
and then I feel like recently he was more of like a family man kind of like I don't know, goofy dude, like doing. He was very likable, all this stuff, and then I feel like when the Jada thing happened, people were like, and people finding out that he's not monogamous,
Yeah.
and especially, I don't think even people were upset that he's not monogamous. It was more like she's also not monogamous,
Yeah.
and you all are both okay with that. And so, like, I feel like people had a lot of disrespect. He became the butt of a lot of jokes, and like, because it became like looking at, because he did that one table talk, and it looked like he was not necessarily interested in being there.
Yeah.
But this shit was going on, and they'd been in this open relationship for such a long time without it being the subject of the shit.
So much attention. Yeah.
So then people were just like, Jada fucked up, and that's pretty shitty. But I don't know whether he was. I mean, they were both agreed with the thing, but it sounded like he was not happy about it, or people perceived it that way. So then he became like this cuck. And then his family is not conventional anyway. So people were coming for his family all the time. And then I'm sure Miss Jada would love to have hair. But she has this alopecia, so she cannot. And I do think that was like she was not happy with it. He was like, well, because she's been posting things about, being secure. I mean, insecure, but like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Still being secure in who she is and what's going on. But
yeah, I definitely feel like maybe Chris Rock knew, maybe he didn't, but I definitely see how.
I think he thought since
upset
she
she
was
would
talking about it, she was comfortable enough to take a joke. And since it's all a joke, he didn't think there'd be a problem, let alone being slapped on stage in front of a shit ton of people. See, if I was Chris Rock, I understand why this happened.
I think look on this guy's face. Go, oh fuck, am I gonna slap now? What's going on? Look at his face. He has a look of concern. This dude's like, oh shit, what's gonna happen right here?
But I don't like that. Like, again, I'm pretty sure Jada wasn't like slap him, but I'm like, I don't like that type of relationship where it's like somebody does something and you feel the need to physically retaliate. Like that to me, if somebody like, if me and Maverick were in a situation and somebody was like picking on me, I was upset. And then he decided to like hit somebody and like face legal ramifications or also getting his ass beat, I would be pissed.
Yeah.
I would be so fucking pissed because I'm like, that's not how you act to like honor me. So like,
like I could see if you're not being physically threatened.
But she also could be one of those people.
Yeah.
Who's like,
what just amazes me is this all happened like live on camera. And then did you see the other part where he was saying, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, look,
I'm like, you just made your husband. I'm not saying it's her fault necessarily, but he was laughing. And like I said before, it could have been the laugh right before. It's like, okay, I'm going to kick your ass. But like,
yeah, I mean,
she definitely had a problem with it.
And then looked over her there, saw she was upset. Maybe she said something to him. I don't know. You don't see what's happening in the situation there. But I do feel like it's not okay just to go up and slap somebody unless there's like a physical threat. But yeah, there's a better way to.
How he, first of all, he should have never been able to reach that man. Second of all,
That's true.
What is Chris Rock supposed to do? He's hosting a thing. He's at his work.
Like
You're just some dude who fucking walked up. He's like, he's hosted award shows before. He's being professional. But somebody walks up, like, what is? I'm like, that could have been a whole different situation.
oh yeah, like
And I do think I don't give a shit what's been happening in Will's life. I do think he owes Chris Rock an apology.
yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna play here is his little apology thing. 'Cause if you notice,
Because as a representative for what he did and what that movie, he fucked up.
yeah, but he never.
The Oscar goes to.
God damn it! But he never apologizes to Chris, or he apologizes to everybody else for throwing a tantrum, basically. Which, okay, fine, but those people's feelings, like they're just spectators of some shenanigans. But
Did he actually do an apology?
he apologized to the Academy and to the people that are watching, but he did not apologize to Chris.
Well, on Facebook, he just said, "There's an apology to Chris."
Oh, yeah, but
Because I would say, I was like, what he needs to do is talk to him first, apologize, then ask him if he needs a public apology. Because
yeah,
I'm not like a fan of public apologies, but something has happened to me recently where I'm just like, I might need you to let everybody know that like you fucked up.
oh, is this the same thing that happened to both of us? Or
No,
is-
not that person. Just
Oh.
personally in my life. I'm just like, if we're gonna be okay, you got to tell everybody that you fucked up and this is your fault that this is happening.
yeah,
So like, I'm personally not a public apology person, but like I do think there's situations where you put me in no choice where I need you have to tell everybody that you're sorry
yeah.
to me, and I feel like this might be one because what was Chris Rock supposed to do?
Like
Slap him back? Like what the
this is
fuck
almost like
supposed
a
to happen?
situation of you're like, say you're working at your gas station job, bring it back to the convenience store.
Mhm.
You're selling your Four Locos to homie over here, and dude overhears you say something that he doesn't like. He walks up and slaps you in the face at work. That's the same thing that's happening there. You just randomly get assaulted while you're trying to do your job.
Mhm.
Now, maybe Chris was punching down. Maybe he wasn't. Like, you never know. But like, if you watch the Oscars or any of these shows, they will talk shit back to the audience about, there's always something going on. It's for ratings. It's trying to keep things funny.
Well, he said, "I love you, Jada," because I think he was a little concerned before he
Yes.
even told the joke that this might be iffy.
And then the thing is, too, is on these shows, he might not even have written the joke.
I think he said it was light, and I think people were like, that might have been what pushed him over the edge because he's like, that's my wife and what she's going through.
Yeah.
And that could have been what pissed him off. But then I think he had already stood up by that time. When he's like, that was a light joke.
Yeah.
Because, no offense to Will Smith and Jada, there's plenty of things that people could poke at.
But yeah. But like I said, I don't like these shows. There's usually a writing staff that writes the jokes ahead of time. Was Chris Rock just riffing off the top? Was it something that was put in there ahead of time? I don't know.
I don't know. I still think because part of me is annoyed that he still received an Oscar after such bad behavior. But I'm also like, it has something to do with what he did that night, I guess, technically. So
Well,
I can't be annoyed, but I feel like that's he looks stupid. Like Will Smith looks stupid once again. Like,
Yeah.
and it's got to suck for both people in their situation because, like I said, people should be more respectful of what they want to do with their lives. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know what you thought was going to happen when. And I hate to bring race into it, but there was like a lot of the Black news community stuff I watched. Like a lot of people were just like, I don't respect Will Smith anymore before, like with the Jada thing happened. And I just feel like, I don't know if he just felt like, I'm tired of all this disrespect, which it sounds like he was like, I'm tired of all this disrespect. But it's just like, ooh.
Yeah, it's possible. I understand having that final straw, but at the same time, man, like if you want to throw hands, handle this outside later on.
Yeah, that's the thing is like he's making jokes and they're kind of topical. Like I know like a woman's beauty is sacred to her, I guess, but like I don't know. It's she lost her hair. I'm not trying to be rude because that's hard.
Yeah.
But there's I don't know. I think he was just like your hair's you shaved off your hair. Yeah, you were losing your hair, but you shaved off your hair. So obviously you're comfortable with being bald. Yeah. I'm making a G.I. Jane joke, which G.I. Jane has not been like topical for quite some time. But
oh right?
Yeah. I'm like, forget about the whole coincidence. G.I. Jane is not relevant, but whatever. I don't think those award shows are for the young anyway.
Oh, no.
So.
I mean, honestly, the award shows aren't really for anybody other than people that are involved in the business. Like, I could give two shits left. Like, unless my name is up for an Oscar, I don't give a shit.
I thought it was so dumb too because they were like, "Oh, the president, the Ukrainian president or whatever won't come fucking, or they won't let him talk or whatever." And I'm just like, you think he wants to come talk to a bunch of privileged Americans while he's at war? Like, I would be insulted by the invitation.
He's a little bit busy.
Yeah, I was like, that's the dumbest idea I've ever heard, and everybody's acting like his voice is getting silenced or like they're pro-Russian, but I'm just like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And then people were like, oh, I'm gonna protest, and I'm like, why? I'm like, that just goes to show how disconnected you are with the world, that you want this president to take time while his country is like under like siege and war to make a message for you, the rich people of Hollywood.
Definitely.
Like, that's so annoying to me. Like, I was just like, this whole thing, and then fucking Will Smith punching Chris Rock for just doing his job. I'm just like, I don't know.
Well, that's like
I'm like, these things just need to die.
Like that congressman that like gave Zelensky shit for showing up to a Congress meeting like via camera in like a t-shirt and jeans, and it's like, oh, well, you're not wearing a suit, bitch. Do you think he had time to change? He's been wearing a vest the whole time and fucking Kevlar helmet shooting at fucking Russians.
Like,
he's got time to change.
It's just so disconnected, like that whole thing, Amy Schumer and everything. I'm like, just way to show that you're like, I'm just like, I get the sentiment. Like, there are ways to show that we're with Ukraine, but having their president come talk to you, not come talk to you guys, but like make a video personally for this thing. I'm like, I feel like that's like a little stupid, like just not well thought out.
No.
And then they were just like, oh, well, that's pretty shitty of them and everything, and we're gonna like boycott it and all this shit. And it's just like, did anybody stop to think that maybe he doesn't want to do that? Yeah. Why would he want to do that? If I was him, I would not. I would be like, fucking stupid Americans.
Yeah.
My people are dying, and you want me to stop to make you something for your stupid awards show? Fuck you.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is just a bunch of entitled people again joining together to just be entitled. Like, dumb.
I will say though, like I said at the beginning when I said cheers to the Oscars finally having something happen that's worth talking about. Because like the only awards show I used to watch was the Video Music Awards and the MTV Movie Awards. Because you voted on that if you watched MTV. And they usually had some more entertaining shit going on. The Oscars, it's a bunch of fucking Hollywood elites all having a circle jerk, is what it is. That's what it comes down to. Now, don't get me wrong. If I make a movie and it's up for an Oscar, I will happily jump in that circle jerk. But that's for my own ego and gratification. But I mean,
I feel what happened because I'm like, I've had moments where I've just boiled up. Everything's boiled up. He probably looked at his wife. She looked like she was about to cry because he made fun of her for being bald.
yeah. And right
Which-
now,
Not
like-
really the joke, but kind of the joke, you know? Wasn't like, haha, you're bald, but also like you could be a bald star in a movie, which is what you. I mean,
there's also
honestly, Jada Smith as the next G.I. Jane would probably be somewhat progressive, intolerable. But anyway, I don't know. I get why she would be upset. Is the response then Will Smith go up and slap Chris Rock? No. And if I was Jada Smith, I mean, she's already getting trashed because people are just like, she got upset. Will Smith was obviously laughing. This is clearly a case of the woman being like, why are you laughing? And him just going up to save his like relationship shit. That's what a lot of people.
there might be part of this. Like, man, I don't know what happens behind closed doors. Dan, we lost you. Uh-oh. Dan did. She slapped her desk and disconnected something. But now I get awards shows our work, and there's big money goes into buying awards and advertising, and it benefits the movie and everything, and it goes towards. Like I'm saying, if I'm an independent filmmaker, like I said, I have a movie script that I've been working on, and if I can write it and actually produce it and actually make it into something, and it's up for an award, like I'm more than happy, especially because if it has an Oscar behind it, that's going to push that movie further out into the limelight and get attention towards it. And, you know, I'm all for it, but like I said, let's be honest with ourselves. When it comes down to a lot of these awards, it's really it's a circle jerk. It really is. It's a glorified circle jerk. But, it's one of those things. It's part of the world we live in. I mean, nothing's really that real in the long run. And we have completely lost Diane. But I still have. I understand Will Smith going through some shit and wanting to slap the shit out of him, but at the same time, slap the shit out of him somewhere else. You know, I feel like it was a bigger deal because he did it live on cameras and everything else. So I don't. Oh yeah, he probably does. Honestly. Oh, is she back? Maybe. What'd you do?
My thing died.
Why don't you plug it in?
Because I had the thing plugged in but not plugged in.
Jesus. All right. I was just filling time until you popped back in there.
I think that was a quick recovery, somewhat.
Yeah, it was fairly quick. It didn't last too long. But I'm just saying, like, if you have a problem with somebody and you feel like you need to throw hands, go and sort it out afterwards. Like, exchange some words, and if it comes to throwing blows, it comes to throwing blows. But exchange some words first. Figure it out. Because maybe you'll say some shit, he'll say some shit, and then you'll realize maybe you're not that much on opposition, and they can talk stuff out. Bring Jada in, be like, "Oh, hey, look, man, I'm sorry," and then afterwards, maybe you can address it later on. But walking up on, it's the same thing as somebody jumping the barricade at a wrestling show, somebody jumping on stage at a concert or a comedy show. It's not cool. It doesn't matter if you're famous. It's just like, do you remember back in the day? I think I showed a video to you where the Insane Clown Posse, Violent J, tried to drop kick Fred Durst on stage at one of his concerts, but he missed and fell on his ass, which was kind of funny. I'm just saying, just because you're famous, it doesn't make it okay.
No. And like, what is Chris Rock then gonna do? Like, because this is my thing, is like, he set Chris Rock into this like bad position because he's fucking with his work, first of all.
Yes.
You came to me at my job and fucking started a fight that you know damn well I can't retaliate. He even had his hands, like you said, behind his back because he didn't think shit was gonna happen.
Yeah.
And Will Smith too, he apologized to the Academy because they just gave him an Oscar. And he fucked up. And he knew that there was going to be backlash for them not even kicking him out and then giving him that shit after that behavior anyway.
Yeah.
So I feel like Will Smith was kind of at his job too, but like to a lesser extent. But like,
yeah, like
just
he's promoting his movie. So I mean, technically, yeah, I mean he's still working. It's still his job at the end of the day, but it's not the same. Like,
I'm just interested.
If it was the other way around, Will Smith would be pretty pissed off.
Yeah, well, because it's crazy, because it's like he's just doing his job. He's saying whatever. He gave the initial, like, "I love you, dude. Like, please don't take this the wrong way," as far as I'm concerned. Then, like, she did take it the wrong way. And then he was just like, "I got to walk up here and slap this man in front of, like, probably the two people at home watching, but, like, at least his peers. That's his fucking peers, is it not?"
Oh, yeah, that's definitely true.
I'm like, the disrespect that he showed Chris Rock for no reason, for just making this one joke when there's people out here making a serious kerfuffle about his fucking life and his attitudes lately, to me is just like, it's just like, now Chris Rock is in a position to where like he can't sue him or do anything because he already was bitch slapped on TV. And then if he even wanted to retaliate physically, that's like the only like macho answer to this situation. This macho bullshit that fucking the machismo is unnecessary and frustrating. But I'm just interested if like Jada's the type of person who's like down for that, like really wanted him to go bitch slap Chris Rock.
I don't know. That's the thing is I don't know. But I do know it's been a whole kerfuffle.
Will Smith apparently has a history of just popping off, so I just think he didn't he didn't fuck up his career, but he put a dent in what jobs, I think.
There's
Just a
a,
teeny bit.
there's a question mark over him now, for
Yeah.
damn sure.
And it's, well,
Oh,
especially after the
damn sure.
whole when Jada and him came up with the open relationship thing. Like I think people were kind of upset about that because Will Smith had made himself like a family man, and people that aren't ready to believe that you can be like a family person
Yeah,
and not be monogamous. Like that's just not a thing people are willing to accept yet. And
yeah.
you put it out there, and that's respectable, and that's like great. But like a lot of people were like,
No.
look at Will Smith being a bitch to his wife and all this shit, and like that would be frustrating for both sides. Like I would be tired of all this shit, but like I don't know.
That comes down to some of the toxic masculinity that's like a real thing.
Yeah,
the
well,
heteronormative stuff.
I feel like
stuff
that's what it is.
the stuff placed upon us because of the churches.
And it was just like I feel bad for both of them, but I'm also like you can't go slapping people.
No.
Will Smith. For the love of God, I love the Wild Wild West. I love every piece of shit you do, dude. You fucked up. Like you
That's true.
fucked
Like
up.
Will Smith has got some of my favorite movies have Will Smith in them.
And he's a talented dude, but like honestly, like his image, and I feel bad that a person has to worry about their image so much that they can't just live their lives. Like that fucking sucks for him. Like that fucking sucks. But also,
Yeah.
walk up to his stage and slap Chris Rock. I felt so bad for Chris Rock because I'm just like, Will Smith took his issues and laid them on Chris Rock's lap and went like, "What do you? Like now
definitely.
you're in this with me." Like, and Chris Rock was right. Like, you made like this is one of the most interesting nights in television. But I'm just like,
It is true. I mean, Chris Rock is going to go down
you
in
put me in
history.
a fucked up position, homie.
It's going to be a thing for a long time. But Diane, there's time to move on to our final review of Mickey's. Now, before you start blurting out your thing, is this a main eventer? Is it a 5 out of 5? Is it in the upper mid card? Is it 4 out of 5? Is it just a mid card? 3 out of 5? Lower mid card, 2 out of 5? Or is Mickey's nothing but a jobber, just a 1 out of 5? How do we feel about Mickey's? We're going to a party and they got nothing but Mickey's. How long are you staying at that party? I mean,
You'd have to have a decent amount of Mickeys.
it
I can tell you that.
is true. Like,
If I show up and there's like 6 Mickeys left in the cooler, I'm going home.
that's it. Not everything's about you, Maverick. That's
Yes, it
true.
is.
That is true. Mickey's is very much a high schooler thing. Because I remember, of course, maybe it's because it was in the 90s. I don't know how many people walk around wearing Mickey's shirts, and everybody's getting 40 ounces of Mickey's
32s.
or 32s. But I don't hate this beer. I don't hate it. It's not Steel Reserve.
I had some Still Reserve. Have you ever had the? Did we have the Still Reserved Four Loko malt things?
We had the Steel Reserve seltzers once,
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's a seltzer, but I had like.
and those were pretty awful.
I went to the store and they had. Oh, sorry, we're talking about a different biz.
But I feel like Mickey's. I really thought it was a higher alcohol percentage in here. I thought the ABV was higher in Mickey's than it really is. But I mean, it's not bad. But I still I still feel like Mickey's has a little bit of a staleness to it. There's a little bit of a stale edge at the end of this. It's not terrible, but it gets a little stale. I'm gonna tell you 100%. This is not a main eventer. I cannot put this in a main event.
I said 10 out of 10.
Well, you're letting nostalgia cloud your mind. This is like a Goldberg. Like, yeah, at some point you kind of remember how great it was, but then you watch his matches back and you go, you know what? Not really that great, but it was fun when it happened.
All right. I'm willing to go. Let me think of a wrestler who I think they are. Who was the turtle guy?
What?
The turtle guy for a second. He was like
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
that
We
guy.
can't bring his name up. He has some minor stuff. Like there's some inappropriate things.
We can't bring his name up.
Not Dana Carvey.
Oh no, turtle enough. This is the Dana Carvey abuse.
No. What the fuck is his name?
If you don't know that movie, we can't.
With no the dude with no chin.
Yeah. Was it Hemsworth or
Yes.
Was that something worth?
Not Hemsworth. It's Hemsworth.
Feldog? No, it's just I don't know.
Hang on. I'll Google it.
But yeah. So I would say take second.
Ellsworth. James Ellsworth. He beat AJ Styles. But
So does that make him a 3?
Ellsworth, he sent inappropriate photos to minors.
So did he now?
Allegedly.
Well, like I said, I guess that's the best I can. I mean, I guess try and disregard but I can't spend another 5 minutes trying to think of somebody else. So, who's Rebel? There we go, Rebel.
Oh, Reba?
Reba. But you like her more than I do. I think she's a very low tier person.
Well, they're all you've named just jobbers. That's all you've named is jobbers.
Oh, so jobbers. But I feel like but they were a little bit more than jobbers because they showed up like multiple times.
That's like the Brooklyn Brawler. They're just jobbers with a larger platform.
So
It's
wouldn't that be at
Gilbert.
least a 2?
They're not even lower mid card because they can't. Well, Ellsworth
Because
didn't
they
win that.
constantly came back. They're constantly there, so I would
Yeah.
say they're more than
Well,
jobbers.
I didn't see Rebels TNA run, so maybe she was higher than that. But
I vote 2. It's a 2 out of 5.
you went from a 10 out of 10 to a 2 out of 5 that quick.
Well, because I'm not going to win this argument now, am I? I
if
like
you
Mickey's. What can I say?
If you were to put forth a bigger argument, maybe we could discuss things. But you're just like,
It's kind of delicious to me and very tolerable, and I wish I had about 2 more.
yeah. I mean,
Do you wish you had more?
actually, I'm content. By the time I finish this one, I'll be good.
I wish I had more. Because the taste is not bad. The taste is not bad. After all
No,
the light beers,
The
we
taste
did
is
the
not terrible. The taste is not terrible. It's not.
10 out of 10. There's why I give it 10 out of 10. I'm happy. I enjoy it.
But it's Jesus Christ. But it's not a terrible beer. It's not. It's I don't know. I don't know how many times. Like I've drank it like 3 times in my life. Like even in high school.
Yeah, it was high school Mickey's for me.
Okay, Will Smith, settle down there. But yeah, okay, fine.
I can
Do what
understand why. Do you think? What did we find out what Will Smith said to? I'm gonna have to go look at that because I'm so excited to see what Will Smith is gonna say and what Jade is gonna say because I'm just like, I think this is gonna,
the Facebook apology.
yeah, because I'm just interested to see what they're gonna say in general because I think this affects both of them more than it says anything about Chris Rock.
All right.
Because people are already about him, and now I feel like people are like, "Hey, way to look stupid, bud." Mental health. That's sad though for Will Smith because that's sad though. I wish people.
Wait.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was an Instagram apology.
Oh. And what did it say?
I'm looking for the actual Instagram apology. Okay.
Is it really long?
No. So, violence in all its forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are part of the job. But a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line, and I was wrong. I am embarrassed, and my actions were not indicative of a man I want to be. There is no place for violence in this world.
That's cute. But yeah, I'd be embarrassed. I think that's the biggest takeaway that I'm like, you should be embarrassed, and you are good. Then you've got what you were meant to have. Because I don't want any legal issues, or like I would hope Chris wouldn't want any legal issues, but also he should be thoroughly embarrassed with himself.
Yeah. Well, from what I understand, Chris Rock is not pushing any sort of.
No, but like I can understand why certain comedians have like made it their thing, like make stages safe, because there is a lot of comedians that people just walk up and assault them, and like people don't give them security or anything.
That is true.
So I do think people need to, support your, security needs to back their people, their performers, but
yes, even from other performers,
because people are just like, this is the thing that's going to get people to realize that comedians yes. need protection.
I have seen this argument quite a bit, which is kind of true because you have security keeping people from getting on stage and at concerts and stuff most of the time. But I mean, it's when you're trying to make people laugh, you're going to say stuff offensive because there's a shock and awe in comedy. And some people might find it not funny. Some people might find it funny. It's kind of subjective. It all depends on your real world experiences. But Mickey's is a 2 out of 10. It's nothing but a lower mid card. Will Smith needs to cut his shit and get therapy. Convenience stores. Stock yourself. Do your research. Go with your popular bands. Don't lose money because our economy is shit as it is. And as you see down here at the bottom, I got our Instagram and Twitter at Bottom Class, which is also the TikTok as well. That's the social medias. Find us here Monday nights at twitch.tv/Bottom Class. And then we post on the YouTubes. Please like, share, subscribe. get those bells on, do those things, help us grow, help the algorithm push our stuff up further. And if you're watching us on Twitch, we're here 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time live, 11 p.m. Eastern. And, you know, we love you guys. And we also have a website, pericoproductions.com. There's some t-shirts there. If you'd like to donate to help us out, we'd appreciate it. Because we're just some jackasses trying to entertain and make a little money on the way. You know, I want to be able to be famous enough to go slap another comedian on stage. Diane, don't you want to be able to slap another comedian on stage and not be... I don't know.
That's so unoppressive comedian of you to say.
Oh, that's so true.
No, I think comedians should just talk about slapping each other and then, you know,
not actually slap each other.
yeah, because it's people taking shit that's not meant to be serious too seriously, and that's offensive to me.
Yeah,
because comedy has seriously helped me through a lot of things, and a lot of that might not have helped Miss Jada Pinkett Smith, and I'm sorry, but somebody might have taken that and went, you know what, today I'm not going to stick a gun in my mouth, so I'm sorry that didn't work out either way.
that's aggressive. But,
I know that's a weird thought to throw in there at the end where I can't really explain myself, but I'm just saying jokes are jokes, dude. Don't punch somebody in the face for some shit. That could have been a conversation easily.
that could have been handled backstage.
Yeah, you were in a position, people treat you like shit on the internet, that's different. When you meet up with somebody who's been talking shit about your family, that's different. He did it this one time. You could have easily gone to him and said, hey, that's fucked up. You should apologize to my wife.
Yes, definitely. But I've got a race to get piss horses so badly. So this has been Best of the Bottom. We're Bottom Class Booze, drinking bottom shelf booze. And we will see you next time. Bring that shit in for a hug. And
Tasted pretty good.